Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special match for World of Warships. Yes, after what feels like an eternity, I am back. Now, I have to admit, I have been playing World of Warships sparingly lately. Probably just a couple of matches every now and then. I'm currently playing it a little bit more because of the Puerto Rico dockyard, and Puerto Rico and Melbourne or Marlborough, or what was the last battleship, those are the only dockyard ships which I do not possess. Some of them I'm really happy with, some of them I cannot even look at. I'm talking about you, Anchorage. But anyhow, on this mission specifically, or this match, we're going to be taking out Prince Rupprecht, and this is one hell of a funny match. So I'm going to be able to get quite a lot of kills, and I have not really talked too much about the changes that Wargaming has implemented. So the new economy system, where you have these boosters for the in-game currency, for the commander experience, for the ship experience, and free experience, can make or break the game. And it kind of feels like Wargambling hasn't really even set up some changes for some of the campaigns which they are planning for, because if we would take a look at, for example, the Godzilla vs. Kong campaign, which they are launching again or have launched already, we would actually determine that they have kind of not accounted for the fact that they have completely deactivated any potential boosts or any potential buffs, sorry, from the camouflage. So it does not increase your or does not decrease your detectability range. It does not provide you with any additional benefits, and so having a campaign where you have to pay doubloons for a bunch of camouflage which has absolutely zero added value is kind of idiotic. So that's why I have really not been even playing the game that much. From the month of January till April, I did not touch the game at all, which explains why I kind of screwed myself and did not finish with the Marlborough. And I kind of wanted to get the game done or get the dockyard done, but when I actually touched the game, it showed me that like the dockyard is over, or I wasn't able to purchase the last stages with additional doubloons, so I was kind of screwed there. And yeah, but back to the match. So both teams are playing with the actual carriers, and we kind of see that our carrier has been YOLOing its squadrons into the enemy numbers, and this has kind of helped the teams to lead into certain situations. So we can see that majority of the team is currently cramped over by the sea point, and only a portion is over here. Now, if you are playing the carrier, your task should be at start to not YOLO into the first destroyer you see, but to actually spot the entire team, as this can help redistribute your own forces and then determine what needs to be done. But because I see that the enemy here is trying to force themselves onto the A point in order to start gathering those necessary points to gather those tickets and achieve victory, they are kind of ignoring me from here, and that can have multiple benefits for me. So I have actually on the Rupprecht a secondary build as per majority of the German battleships which I tend to play, and I tend to play a little bit more aggressively, which means I either end up being dead or I end up getting a couple of kills and then I end up being dead anyhow. So it's actually kind of fun when it happens that I end up managing to be the last one on my team. We managed to even get a citadel here on Admiral Hipster, so that's kind of nice, and this is gonna be our first kill thanks to the secondary weapons on this ship. Now, I actually do like the fact that the Rupprecht has the Elbing's torpedoes, so you do have a decent range. I believe it's like 13.5 kilometers, so it can be quite beneficial. And here I'm kind of putting myself into a dangerous position, which is why I also triggered the Hydro, because I don't know if something is lurking on the other side. The contest for the sea point is still going on, so because my other flank is completely exposed, I cannot just have a total tunnel vision. So checking out the other side and checking back, it's allowing me to actually see what's going on over here. Looks like the torpedoes are going in. They might hit something, they might not hit anything. And here we see that the enemy cruiser is trying to escape as well with the battleship, and showed me the beautiful broadside. Unfortunately, we do not manage to get any goddamn citadel here, so that's kind of funny. But we have been able to cut off the enemy while they are trying to retreat. So what we're going to be doing here is trying to engage the 3 enemy players. Thanks to the Hydro still being activated, I was able to actually figure out that there are some torpedoes in the water. Rupprecht has the advantage that the repair party can be triggered far easier and much more frequently. But the overall repair itself still takes a crap ton of time, so that's something that I need to keep an eye out for. And now I'm basically trying to engage the 2 battleships, and if I would be able to re-angle myself slightly better, what's going to allow me to do is utilize both sides of my ship to actually be shooting at the enemy. So trying to shoot at that cheek right at the water level, able to land a citadel on the enemy battleship. I believe that's the Richelieu, and at the back there, over there, it can be like Nagato or something else. I think it's Japanese. So yeah, unfortunately when I was trying to record this stuff, some ship came out, so I wasn't able to utilize the alt, which is my predetermined function to measure the distance and all this other nonsense. So launching the torpedoes again, trying to land those successful shots, only going with 1 salvo this time. However, I don't want to utilize all the torpedoes, and I have to make sure that I angle myself correctly so that I am not taking a crap ton of damage from 2 sides. Launching the torpedoes at the other ship at this point would be quite pointless, but because he's showing me the broadside so nicely, I actually open up on him, and it seems like I'm getting the kill on the French battleship. So thanks to the secondary and the participation of my team, who is about to claim the A point, I'm gonna start moving around the island, and I'm gonna try to get another kill, and then we're gonna push out towards the sea point in order to actually help our team. Currently, it seems like we can actually win. The enemy has lost 5 ships, we have only lost 2, but unfortunately, things are gonna start changing, and we're gonna start losing the flank. So even though we might actually currently gain control of the 3rd point and get a crap ton of tickets for our team, unfortunately, as we lose 2 ships, we lose also the ticket points. So that sea is literally being lost, and we're losing ship after ship. And unfortunately, also our carrier will do one really bad thing, and this can even happen to me or any of you. So if you are navigating your ship and you are playing carrier, my advice is to actually put the ship next to an island. Never make it that the ship actually touches with the tip the island, because if you then try to use the auto navigation to make the ship move away, what will just usually happen is that it just ends up being stuck and you end up dying anyhow, so it's not really that beneficial for you. So I'm launching some torpedoes in the water. Not really sure if the enemy battleship is gonna reach any of them, so trying to angle myself so that if I receive the full salvo, I will not be so severely punished. Unfortunately, this set of German battleships is quite squishy, and now even the enemy carrier is joining in on the fun, and German ships are notorious for having absolutely horrible anti-aircraft. So there's that. Now we have another enemy battleship which is spamming HE rounds at me. I still have the party to repair triggered, so unfortunately, if he would be able to land those shots, chances are just as the repair party was finished, the fire would get triggered on board and I would take another bunch of damage. Fortunately, my torpedo tubes were not destroyed. I had literally had matches where I take out one of these ships and some HE spammer gets some lucky shot in, and immediately one flank of the ship is completely without torpedoes, and that can make your life extremely difficult. So that's why actually playing these ships at the start would be preferred to be more passive. But if I would be playing this ship more passively at the start, or hell, if I would theoretically have actually gone to the sea point, I could have been already theoretically dead, or like I could have maybe killed something and I could have remained there over now. And if I recall it correctly, the two Alsackers, or however you pronounce it in French, sorry, I don't speak French at all, so those are pushing in onto the B point, and the friendly carrier, like I said, has actually done one major mistake, and that is that it's like breached the island, or it's, I don't know, touching tips, call it whatever the hell you want. And so the unfortunate thing is that our carrier is therefore not that effective in providing the necessary support. I'm still trying to bombard the King Henry or whatever is this British ship, and then there's the enemy Ibuki or whatever is the cruiser that's moving back there. So the idea here is, or was basically, to try and push in, try to align myself with my team and somehow meet the enemy at the B point. But things are gonna change as, of course, I will try to keep engaging the flank here. And unfortunately, these ships have only limited range. So for being a tier 9 ship, you not having like 19 kilometers of range on your primary armament can be quite bad, and I still prefer to take like the auxiliary armaments or have the secondary armaments equipped on the ship, because it is quite effective at like setting up fires by doing so, and quite a lot of times you can actually get a lucky kill just by utilizing the secondary weapons, and we already have over 278 hits just with the secondaries. So yeah, we keep pushing in over here, and it seems like our friendlies are pushing in onto the B point, and as I said, one of the Alsackers are actually moving out, and our friendly carrier has been taken out. So we are losing a major support, which would actually help prevent the B point to be captured. If both of the battleships would keep just pushing onto the B, then the carrier, if they would have the planes left, which I could not have anticipated to be the case, because he kept YOLOing his squadrons from the start of the game into the enemy ranks, and that can be quite detrimental. I mean, if you're not playing some ship like Hornet or something like Kaga, where you have access to a ridiculous amount of ships, it's almost impossible for later stages to maintain steady squadrons that can effectively harass the enemy, because in certain cases that's the primary focus of what actually the carrier should be doing. It's not expected from you to kill the entire enemy team or something, but you can certainly do some damage. So as the enemy Ibuki and King George are escaping my range, I'm refocusing my attention at the enemy Alsacker, so he was able to dodge a bunch of torpedoes. The enemy carrier is actually supporting him, so I'll refocus my guns with these ships. It's quite easy because of how the turrets are rotating, so it's quite useful to actually have the ship, as 3 turrets can be rotated quite fast and get the aim on some unsuspected victim. And here, if I would theoretically launch the torpedoes, they would be able to reach the enemy Alsacker, but it was kind of pointless, especially because we had another Rupprecht over there. and I kind of still feel like I need to use the camouflage, even though it has absolutely zero effects. So here we're getting our Kraken, and we can see that the enemy carrier is refocusing its attention towards me. And the funniest thing is that he was actually somehow backing up. And so what ends up happening is that I still take one of the torpedoes, but I'm close enough to open up with my secondaries. Like I said, 3 turrets are able to rotate quite fast to the location where he is. And so I'm able to start opening up and start dealing some damage. So we are getting high caliber achievement and Confederate achievement simultaneously, because we are dealing so much damage. And so he is gonna start to change and try to actually get behind an island. I'm being harassed by his bombers, but it's unfortunately for him not gonna be fast enough. Another Citadel hit and a few more shots, and there goes kill number 6 of the match. So here is the unfortunate thing. It's 1 versus 3, and we do have the point advantage, but the enemy is actually getting the B point, so that's why I'm actually trying to switch away. I could have shot at the Ibuki, but if I manage to land a couple of these hits on the enemy Talon, what's going to happen is actually I'm going to prevent him from getting the capture. So theoretically speaking, we might still have some point advantage here. It's still 700 something something, and we are getting that 7th kill of the match. But with that torpedo and Ibuki constantly harassing me, I get hit here like one more time, and with 118 HP left, it's unfortunately good game. Well, at least it was a fun game for me. 3 out of the 7 kills have been achieved thanks to the use of the secondary, so I did not really have to do that much work. And then we take a look at the overall ending score. So I was able to make quite a decent killing. I received a couple of rewards. We did 210,000 points of damage. I got some Citadel hits, which usually does not really happen with the German battleships because their accuracy and the way the guns operate, it can primarily almost be guaranteed to be only done to the cruisers and only rarely to enemy battleships. But those 7 kills are quite nice, and the 338 secondary hits is also quite lovely. So that's gonna be it for this match. So I hope you did enjoy it. I do have playlists for other matches. I haven't been really publishing stuff for Wargaming or the World of Warships as of late. I do have idea for 2 videos. I might have necessary footage for one of them. I just lately did not have that much time, so I'm trying to throw in something extra and something new, and that's why I also did the System Shock demo and things like this. So I'm trying to switch the formula so it's not the same thing over and over again. But yeah, that's gonna be probably it for now. So if you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Tell me what you would have done differently. Tell me which nation do you prefer to play, and I'm gonna be more than happy to read all about it. And you can of course let me know how to pronounce Al-Soccer Blay, and we're gonna have some fun with that as well. So thank you all for watching, and bye bye for now.